Are we gonna act like this is a Mad TV sketch?
Yeah.
Where everything goes wrong.
I think that's great.
Our office is going to be seen in it.
Thank
It's
God.
just how it is.
Fantastic.
If you ever
Okay.
wanted to know what the marketing office looks like, this is nice, and then there's the rest of it.
Yep.
Yep.
That's pretty much it.
Marketing office.
And if you want to sponsor the marketing team to have a bigger space, let us know.
Can you be careful with that knife a little bit?
Okay.
So today we're going to be making puff pastry and apple roses.
It'll smell like a Yankee candle in here.
It's true. So Gray's going to start by having and coring the apples, and we're going to prepare them. Go into a wonderful bath of sugar and cinnamon and
A
ta-da!
beautiful apple cut
Fantastic.
in half. Okay, cool.
All right. So he's just going to take a spoon, and he's got a nice little sharp spoon there, and he's going to peel out that core. So once the apples are cored, we want to cut them into super thin little slices, and we're going to macerate them in sugar and cinnamon. And what maceration does is when you coat something in sugar, it draws out the moisture. Also, puff pastry cooks really quickly, and we're using puff pastry from the chill section because making puff pastry is
Long, tedious.
pretty
Okay.
much. Yeah.
Short and not tedious.
Short and sweet.
Yeah, short and sweet. No, just frozen puff pastry, short and sweet.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. So we're going to be using frozen puff pastry for ease, but puff pastry cooks pretty quickly, actually more quickly than the apple. So we're going to soften the apple for about 90 seconds in the microwave.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I'm going to use a weapon of mass destruction, also known as the mandolin.
Watch your fingers.
Yeah, the most dangerous. I gotta get this safety. There we go. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Don't worry, I'm wearing a cut-proof glove, everyone.
I'm not.
I'm not. Yeah, Dane's not. Okay. That feel right?
That looks very good.
Okay, cool.
Let's stick with that.
Thanks, gold star.
Yep.
Okay. All right, everyone. Now that it's not the first day, it's not my first day in the kitchen. In this kitchen, yes, but I do know how to use some things.
And we're using the term kitchen lightly here.
Ta-da!
Bingo.
Okay.
So you do want them about 1/8 of an inch thick, approximately. If you cut them with a knife, just cut them as thin as you can with a knife. At this point, it seems like that might have been easier. I'm just saying. Thanks to movie magic, all of the apples are cut, and Gray totally did it by himself.
And it didn't take us surprisingly long at all.
No.
Okay.
Well, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna mix some sugar and some cinnamon in with the apples, and we're gonna let them macerate for a little bit, and then throw them in the microwave for about 90 seconds. So, I don't ever measure sugar
Good luck.
unless I bake. I guess I'm baking right now. Here we go. So we're just gonna go in with a liberal amount of sugar, a liberal amount of cinnamon, and we're gonna toss them. You can do that with your hands, or you can do that, like a pro. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. Oh, I spilled sugar everywhere. I'm clearly a pro at this. Maybe hands are the best tool. Let's get in there.
Everyone, you know what my favorite part about this recipe is that we're really trying, embrace fall, and we're doing that by having a week of 103 temperatures outside.
Yeah, that's fall in Ukiah. It really is. I found a little piece of broken apple, so I'm gonna eat it.
Enjoy. Shall we taste this to make sure that they're good?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, they're good. Okay.
All right, so we're gonna let it sit for a little bit, and then we're gonna take that out there and microwave it for about 90 seconds. And while Gray does that, I'm gonna work on puff pastry. So here we have our frozen puff pastry. This is great because really you can make puff pastry by hand, but it takes a really, really long time, even when you do have a sheeter. And we don't have a sheeter, so this is great. Puff pastry comes folded up into these wonderful little sheets. Sometimes it's a little bit thicker, in which case you would need to roll it out, but in our case, it looks like we're actually just about at the right thickness. So we're gonna unfold it here. And I have this great little baking mat. So if you don't have one, I think they're absolutely worth it. It has temperatures, it has measurements, it has a diameter on there, so if you're making pizza, you know how big your pizza is going to be. And so we're just gonna unfold our dough right onto the mat. Gonna lay it out, remove all of our paper. And what's great about this mat is that nothing really sticks to it. We do have some creases and folds in our pastry, so we're going to roll them out. If I can find a roller somewhere. So we'll just use this. I actually prefer to use a French roller, but this will totally work. We're just gonna roll out some of the cracks and crevices. We're gonna try to make sure that both sides are equal and that it's a nice rectangle. We're gonna try not to continue to work folds into our dough. So once it's all ironed out to the best of your ability, what we want to do is we want to cut about 2-inch strips. Now if you have one of these baking sheets, it actually has a ruler on the side of it. If you don't, I like to use my thumb. That's about 2 inches. Most people don't know that. Bakers do, and so do sailors. So I'm going to trim off my edges here so that I have a nice rectangular piece of dough. We can save that and make a little cookie out of it later. I'm going to measure up about 2 inches. I want to measure just a little bit big so that we can make sure we have enough room to fold. I'm going to slice that. Do as best I can to keep it even. Now with one sheet of puff pastry, you should be able to make around 4 of these. We ended up with a little extra dough, so I might roll that out and give it a try to see if we can get a 4th one out of there. We have a small office, so we're just going to work with a little bit. So what we're going to do now is once the apples, that's the name of that fruit, once the apples come back, we're going to line them up on here, fold them up, and roll them up, and they're going to look like nice little roses. And then we're going to throw them in an oven that is small, that sits right here.
And I'm back from the microwave.
And now we're on different sides of the table. So I'm gonna spray this down so that our stuff doesn't stick. And this is just spray coconut oil. Now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna do one because neither of us has ever done this before. So if I mess up, Grey can look really good, and then Grey will do one. So what we want to do is we want to take our apples, our nice thin slices of apple, and we want to line them up at the very top, overlapping a little bit of our at the very top of our puff pastry.
That was the director talking.
Oh, yes, the director spoke to us. Sorry, everyone.
And we want to line them up all the way across, and I'm sure that you can probably tell by now about what we're going to do.
Is there a recommendation on what apples to use?
Yeah, absolutely. For this, you want to use a red apple. I ended up going with Cosmic Crisp. You can also use Gala apples. You can use, you can use Granny Smith. You're going to have a green rose in that case. But really, any baking apple, and most of them are really good for baking. It really just depends on how smooshy you want them.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah. Cool. So we're going to throw just one more little layer of apple in here. We don't have to be super careful with this second layer, because we're just going to fold it up in the pastry, but we do want to fill out a little bit more of the pastry than we currently are. And we do want to be careful because we are going to roll this up. Those of you who live in Mendocino, you probably know a little bit about that. Anyway.
Culture. Okay.
So now what we're going to do is I'm going to take the bottom of this and I'm going to fold it up so the apples don't fall out. We put them into our tin. Yeah.
Tuck them in, you say goodnight.
Yeah. We'll just be like, hey, sleepy time. Shh. We're going to take from one side and we're going to roll like a cinnamon roll from one side to the other. And hopefully everything will go as planned. And I won't look like a big old silly head.
We got this.
Go. Should sit right in our. It wasn't me.
Beautiful. Look.
There we go. That's gonna sit right in our muffin
Bon
tins.
appetit. I say that I request dramatic music while we do this.
Sweet, a lot of editing.
There will be a lot of editing.
Difficult and intricate.
Intricate recipe that involves the most intense fine motor skills. So, and next week we're gonna do sugar sculpture.
I thought about it. Making some sponges for our Apple tartlets. Yours is prettier than mine is for sure.
Oh, yours is pretty good. Okay. No casualties here. Okay. Alright. And now, with the power of movie magic, a third one will appear. And here we are with the power of movie magic. We have 3 done. Some extra dough with cinnamon, sugar, and a little countertop oven.
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop. Okay.
So what we're gonna do is you're gonna preheat your oven to 375 degrees, and then you're gonna set your timer for 40 minutes, and then you are going to pop your roses into the oven, bake them for 40 minutes, and double check them. At the end, if you want to get really fancy, you can mix up some apricot jam and some water over the stove, and you can heat it up, and then you can glaze them at the end, and they'll be super shiny. We are not that fancy.
If you're feeling super not fancy, you could also serve them with like vanilla ice cream.
Or just eat them directly out of the muffin tin
As
and raw.
We're probably gonna do.
Yeah.
Not raw, but out.
Just save yourself 40 minutes. See you soon.